guys, welcome back to episode 2 of our 1.18 survival series. We have a nice little view up here of the start of our village. And we have a couple villagers locked away in this house and this house. And I do want to get rolling on that. But first, I think we need to try to find some bees. Because I love the copper blocks and I really want to build more with them, but I feel like I want to be able to just wax them at whatever stage I want them to be built at. So let's see here. In one of these, there we go, silk touch. That's what I want. I think we should go on the hunt for some bees. I know that there's a birch forest over there. And so I think that might be a pretty good place to start. Here's the birch forest, but I don't see any bees flying around. Yes! Okay, so I think I walked up to it and I could hear buzzing, so I think that means that there's bees in there. And I don't see any flying around, so maybe they're all accounted for. I sure hope so. Yay! Really all we need is 2 bees, and then we could make some beehives or whatever they're called. I can't remember which one is the nest and which one is the hive. There's a bee. Now the question is, do you have another home? Or did I just kill your home? No, he's got his own home. I've heard that if you block the front of it, they can get in, but then they can't come back out. Hey, little guy. I know you're going a really long way for some flowers because there's not a lot here. But if you just want to go back in your house... then I could take you to a new home where you'll have all the flowers you could ever think of. Yes! Back at home, and I just spent some time getting a whole bunch of bee nests. I mean, do you think 10 is enough? I don't know. But now that we have all these bee nests, we need somewhere to release them. So I think it's time that we build a little bee sanctuary for them. I was up here breeding up my cows and I thought this looks like a really nice place to make a little home for all the bees we just collected. And while I was out and about, I did come across a jungle biome. And so I was able to pick up some scaffolding, and now we have a little, tiny little bamboo farm over there. But this is the general shape that we're gonna go with for this bee house. I'm calling it a house because it's not really a sanctuary. If you look up real life bee sanctuaries, they're like a field, and they don't keep the bees indoors. But I thought this could be kind of like a little in between where we keep some bees for honey production and eventually we can have a honey farm, and then maybe we have some big trees built up over here and some flower gardens and stuff like that where bees can be wild. It's just that in Minecraft, you typically, when you have bees out in the wild, they tend to wander off, and I don't want to lose all my bees. We worked so hard to get them. So I'm gonna start right here. This is gonna be the front. And actually, yeah, I was able to get some glass. So we have wood here and then the deep slate tiles. And then we have 1, 2, and we're gonna leave a space and do 1, 2 here, 1, 2 here. And we're gonna plop a door in right there. And we're gonna build these guys up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm gonna place, yeah, there we go. One there, but I think I'm gonna take out this one and put a stair down instead, just for a little detail. And there we go. Now the upper part, I want it to look a little bit lighter in color, and so, oh man. Let's see here. These guys are gonna keep going up. And then we're gonna do a combination of stripped birch and sandstone. So I'm just gonna randomly place some birch like that, and then we're gonna do okay, that looks pretty good. Now I think we're gonna rough out the roof. What is going on over there? That captain is bullying that poor cow over there. I just hope they don't come over here because I am not prepared. That looks pretty good. I wanted it to have a more round shape. And I think while I'm up here, let's knock out some windows here. So on this side, I think is where I actually want the greenhouse to be. So we're gonna go up 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're gonna do a similar roof shape, but going the other way. That looks good. This is coming along really nicely. I really like the look of the light sandstone against the dark deep slate. So now I think it's time to add in some details. And first thing, I think these little windows need some plants. Because what says be home more than some flower boxes? Cover these up like so. And then I brought up some flowers. Some of my favorites. And we'll just plop them here. And here. Like that. This wall is looking a little bare, so I think I'm going to take back this terrain a little bit and put in a little balcony right here. That's better. I was thinking once we get the honey production up, wouldn't it be cool if we exchanged this wall with some like honey blocks or honeycomb blocks? I think that would look really cool and kind of pound in the fact that this is a bee house. Now for this wall, I think we'll just punch in a few windows. I kind of like that. This is still looking a little bit plain, so pro tip, especially with a build like this where it's a little bit naturey, I'm just gonna spam some leaves everywhere. Yeah. This is really coming together, and I think it's time to replace these with the beehives, or bee nests. I'll get it eventually. Yay! We have so many little bees in here. Ah! I'm so excited, and there's plenty of flowers for you guys to eat. Should we stick another one in there? Let's stick a lilac. Right there. Perfect. And then once we get some honey, and then we can build the hives, then I'm gonna put a little like research station here. Like, we're observing the bees, we're making some notes, we're building beehives. I don't know. I would love to have a villager in there, but in order to do that, I'd have to put like a trapdoor or something like that, because otherwise the villager will just let out all of the bees. That is as much of the bee house as I want to get done for this episode, because I came across two problems while we were building this house. The first problem is that I ran out of coal trying to smelt all the glass. And my second problem is that this right here. It is such a pain to work with deep slate and just building in general when you have iron tools. So we need to fix that. Jumping right into some mining footage, I came across this massive dripstone cave. And it had this mine shaft hanging right in the middle of it. I mean, look at it. That is crazy. And as you just saw right there, there's an exposed geode at the bottom. So now we have a source for amethyst. So naturally we had to go exploring the mine shaft in hopes of finding some exposed diamonds or other goodies. And looky there, there's our first diamond. And the reason that there's a different name there other than our sparkles is because I had an issue migrating my Mojang account to a Microsoft account. It's a long story, but I had to borrow another account until I could get mine back. And then we came across this cave spider spawner, and so I had to get in there and light it all up and get some of this cobweb for if we ever want to build something a little creepy maybe. And I know a lot of people aren't a huge fan of the cave spider spawners, but I personally like them because you get XP, but you also get unlimited string. And unlimited string means you have unlimited wool, which is always a good thing to have. So then after that, I went down into the geode and mined out everything except for the budding amethyst blocks so we can get the most out of our amethyst farm. And that gave me a lot of blocks, as you can see here, so I set up a temporary camp outside. And this is how it is looking when everything is said and done. But I wasn't done yet. I still wanted to do some diamond hunting, and on my way back I realized I completely missed this skeleton spawner. And as it turns out, it's right beneath the floor of the giant cave we were just in, so I'm definitely going to come back and make a grinder out of this guy. Unfortunately, there wasn't anything to write home about in this chest, but that's okay. We're still grateful for the spawner. We'll take everything. Now that we finally have some diamonds to our name, we need a couple more things. Because what good is diamond tools and armor if it can't be enchanted? And we only have 17 levels, which is a problem, because you can't really enchant too much with 17 levels. And I don't really feel like making an XP farm out of that skeleton spawner that we found quite yet. So that means one thing. We have to go to the one place where you can get a decent amount of XP by doing the least amount of work. Oh, look at that! This is actually really good for a builder's spawn, because we have all of the wood types right here for us. But unfortunately, it's not the best place for what I came here for, which is to find quartz. Back in the overworld, and I think we're going to close out today's episode with a little bit of enchanting. I was able to find enough quartz to get us to level 33. So we're just going to plop down a temporary enchanting station right here. And I think you only need like 15 bookshelves to get the full enchant, and hopefully that's true, because I always thought it was like 23 bookshelves or something like that, but apparently not. Okay, first up, let's see if we can get anything good on this pick. We're hoping for like a Fortune 3 or even like a Silk Touch. Ooh. That's a little risky. Okay, none of these tools that we made are giving us very good enchants right now. So let's just hope that this gives us something a little bit more than efficiency. Ugh. No! Of course. The axe, the hoe, and the shovel all give me Fortune 3 for my next enchant, which is pretty much useless on all of those things. We're just gonna disenchant this and maybe try for another... Oh my gosh. That is so lucky. Okay. Is it asking too much to have something else with the Fortune 3? That is the perfect pick. Oh my goodness. That's amazing. And I think that's the best place to end off this episode. Oh gosh. My appearance threw me off a little bit. I was like, what the heck? That's not me. But I forgot I was borrowing this account until our sparkles can be returned to me. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, please subscribe and leave a like or a comment. And hopefully I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye!